Tonight on All Access, an HPU event drew crowds of students who traveled the world from right on main campus.
And 2 lacrosse wins put the Panthers on track for the conference tournament.
These stories and more, All Access starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of HPU All Access. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Riley Mannion. First, let's head over to Lizbeth Ramirez for our weather update.
Thanks, Riley. I'm Lizbeth, here to give you a look at our weather. First off, let's start off with the headlines for this week. So we are going to be having sunny skies this week, and as you've been seeing, it's been very sunny, very nice outside. We'll also have the low 80s this weekend, so it's going to be turning a little more to the hotter side, so you can go ahead and start dressing a little bit down. And then for our 7-day forecast, on Thursday, we will be having a high of 73 and a low of 51, and then it'll be a little cloudy. Friday, we can expect to be in the 80s, but again, it'll still be very cloudy, no sun, and then it'll be 54 for the lows. Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at the 80s and for the highest, and then for the lows, we'll be having the 57, 58. So not too bad. It gets a little chillier at night, like always. Monday and Tuesday, we're looking about 86 and then 75. So sunny, like always, you know, getting hotter to the season, as we know, summer season's coming up. And then Wednesday, we have a high of 70 and a low of 44. And that's all we have for weather. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Lizbeth. Davie County house fire killed parents and 2 children is now deemed suspicious. On Monday, the Davie County Sheriff's Office responded to a call after 4 family members were found dead by firefighters inside a home off of Junction Road in Coolamy. The investigation continued Tuesday morning, trying to determine the cause of the fire and if the fire is what really killed the family. Firefighters told investigators that there were some suspicious circumstances discovered at the scene. The 2 children were somewhere between 8 months and 4 years old, according to deputies. The 4 people will be autopsied to determine the cause of the death. This investigation is still ongoing.
A busy Winston-Salem intersection closed overnight on Tuesday due to a water main break. Officials say the intersection on Knollwood Street and Hawthorne Road is closed for emergency repairs. Winston-Salem police announced the closure around 1 a.m. when a large amount of water was leaking out of the road surface and covering the road, causing hazardous road conditions. Drivers are encouraged to stay away from the surrounding areas of the intersection on the repairs are complete. Now let's head over to campus update reporter Blake Woodard to hear about the latest what's going on at HPU. Blake?
Thanks, Riley. Last night, the Global Student Association collaborated with a number of on-campus clubs like Hillel and Interfaith United in order to produce the International Festival. A broad range of countries represented, including Mexico, Brazil, Haiti, and Central America. Antarctica, Israel, France, and China were represented by members of their respective clubs, and volunteers organized tables and a passport system that encouraged people to visit each country. A crowd came out to learn about each country, play games, and earn stickers for their passports. A big thank you to Dynasty Rue, who promoted the event last week on All Access. Don't forget, the upcoming Disney A Dream is a Wish concert is approaching fast. The concert is open to the local community. Get your tickets before they sell out. The Cubane Arena is expected to be a full house on Saturday, April 23rd at 3 p.m. There will be an additional show starting at 7. That's it for your week's campus update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Are you going to attend the Disney A Dream is a Wish?
I saw that billboard and I was like, wait, this is so cool that it's coming to our campus. So I think I am going to attend.
I know. I might attend if I am available. Is it like an orchestra?
I think it's our orchestra playing or Disney's orchestra playing at our campus or collaboration.
I don't know. I'm a Disney fan. Yeah. I love seeing like the performances that Disney puts on too. So I think it'd be really cool.
I think whatever orchestra it is, it's definitely going to be interesting.
I agree.
Make sure to check out these campus events coming up. Now over to you, Brooke.
Thanks, guys. Coming back from the break, we hear about how HPU hosted Meet of Champions, plus a look at how the golf team rounded out their season. Stay tuned. All Access will be right back.
am I going to pay for this?
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds, the freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie, the freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter.
Myth. I can party with people as long as they don't have symptoms. That myth is false. As we've seen, up to 40% of people who have COVID-19 are asymptomatic and can pass it on to others. So I'd recommend avoiding any social parties, especially indoor ones. If you want to try to socialize but reduce your risk, I'd recommend meeting outside in small groups, continuing to wear a mask, and socially distancing from others if you can. Then together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Welcome back to All Access. Our sports reporter Brooke Ruffin has the latest on what's happening in the world of HPU athletics. Tell us what's up, Brooke.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to your All Access Sports Update. I'm Brooke Ruffin. First up on the turf, women's lacrosse was victorious over Radford this past Saturday, 21-7, as Abby Horn scored 10 goals and 1 assist to lead the Panthers with 11 points. She is on her way to become the 6th women's college lacrosse player to surpass 400 points. The Panthers also swept Big South honors with Offensive Player of the Week Abby Horms, Defensive Player of the Week Lily Bedell, and Freshman of the Week Caitlin Barr. On the road, men's lacrosse had a huge win over Hampton, 25-8 last Friday night, with 18 Panthers scoring their 2nd SoCon win of the year. Scoring 9 points with 7 assists and 2 goals, Asher Nolting led the Panthers. Other players leading the Panthers to victory included Jack Van Overbecky with 3 goals and 1 assist, and Hunter Vines and Kaysen Dillon with 2 goals each. Next up on the track, in the debut of Meet of Champions at Vert Stadium, men's track and field finished first with Hossein Botrak winning both the 800 and 1500 meter runs. Also, other highlights included the wins of Darren Dudley in the 100 meter dash, Terrace Burton in the 400 meters, Hunter Senow in the 5,000 meter run, Chris Van Nykerk in the men's discus, and Freddie Allen III in the men's long jump. Finishing third, the highlights of the meet on the women's side included Hannah Brookover, who broke a record in the 1500 meter run that has stood since 2018 by Hannah Seagrav of Great Britain. Alicia Donson now ranks 12th in the NCAA region with her win in the women's long jump, and Dania Hester broke the school record in the 400 meter that has stood since 2003. And finally, on the greens, women's golf closed out their season last Friday at the Big South Championships, which was held at the Patriot Golf Course in Grand Harbor in South Carolina. The Panthers tied for 4th with UNC Asheville, and Danielle Saw tied for 2nd place overall individually. Head coach Alexis Bennett stated, "We proved through all of the adversity of this season that we never, ever give up. One of the greatest things to remember in sports and in life." That's all for your All Access Sports Update. I'm Brooke Ruffin. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Brooke. Now we're joined at the desk by political correspondent Will O'Brien. Will?
Thanks, Riley. First up, while not moving away from the debate format entirely, the Republican National Committee voted unanimously to withdraw from the Commission on Presidential Debates last week, which has been organizing presidential and vice presidential debates for over 3 decades. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel made her announcement in a recent statement, quote, "Debates are an important part of the democratic process, and the RNC is committed to free and fair debates. But the Commission on Presidential Debates is biased and has refused to enact simple and common sense reforms to help ensure fair debates, including hosting them before voting begins and selecting moderators who have never worked for the candidates on the debate stage." The RNC listed several complaints they received from the contended 2020 presidential election and noted that the majority of CPD board members had publicly criticized former President Donald Trump during the campaign when they were prohibited from doing so, a justification for this new move. And from now on, Republican presidential candidates can no longer appear at CPD-hosted events. So this is very shocking. This is nothing like we've ever seen in our lifetimes. What are Republicans going to do from now on? That's my question.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I would love to read more of why. Like, I know they say it's like a bias thing. I think that's like tough to say. I think both candidates could say that. I'd be more interested to read about more of the reasoning on why they decided to pull out.
Yeah, and I think, like she said, both candidates can say it. I think it just goes off of who wins the election, and if a certain candidate doesn't win the election, then they're going to claim something's biased against them. So
right, and if the election went the opposite way, I wonder if President Biden's team would have said the same thing.
Yep, questions, so many questions.
I know.
Tesla CEO, SpaceX founder, and now the world's richest man, Elon Musk, is setting his sights on Twitter, and he's now sparking positive and negative reactions along political party lines, with many Republicans in favor of the move and most Democrats against it. After refusing a seat on Twitter's board of directors, Musk's new offer is to buy 100% of the company at $54 per share, which amounts to $41 billion in cash of his own money. If his offer is accepted through the SEC, Musk has stated that he plans to make changes to Twitter's management, turn the company private, and open the platform for more free speech and open dialogue for political discussions. Twitter's stock currently stands at just over $45 per share, but could be going up very soon for shareholders depending on the outcome of Musk's investment. So I was thinking, Elon Musk, of all people, doesn't need the money, so why would he be doing this? What's motivating him? And why is it setting off these different political reactions along Republicans and Democratic lines?
I mean, I think when you have power, the only thing you want is more power, and so I think that's the boat that he's kind of in. You have money, all you want is more money. So I think that's his motivation, and if he feels a certain way with political affiliations, he might try to kind of change that with Twitter. So I think that could be his driving factor.
Of course.
I would agree with that, and it's interesting to read about how Elon Musk doing this with Twitter. You see how Mark Zuckerberg is taking over with the metaverse and Facebook and everything. So it's very obvious that the internet is completely taking over.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but it is. So thank you for the update, Will. Coming back from the break, we hear from an HPU student active in the theater department.
And an impressive teen making a difference through chess. All Access will be right back. Stay with us.
How am I going to pay for this?
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds, the freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie, the freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Myth. I can party with people as long as they don't have symptoms. That myth is false. As we've seen, up to 40% of people who have COVID-19 are asymptomatic and can pass it on to others. So I'd recommend avoiding any social parties, especially indoor ones. If you want to try to socialize but reduce your risk, I'd recommend meeting outside in small groups, continuing to wear a mask, and socially distancing from others if you can. Then together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Welcome back to All Access. It's time for this week's Student Spotlight with Shreya Rana and Jackson Barnes. Shreya.
Thanks, Anna, and welcome back to this week's Student Spotlight. Today we have Jackson Barnes with us. Jackson, welcome to our show. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Shane was just here, so I have to ask you, how are you feeling a couple weeks later winning The Voice?
Yeah, it's been a very fun experience. It's nice to be able to walk around campus and see students and meet new people who watch the show and hear their thoughts on our song and hear their opinions on other singers and their performances. So it's really nice. I've been able to meet a lot of new people.
I love that. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I have to ask you about another show that I just saw that you were in, Periphery. Can you tell me a little bit about that and the backstory behind that show?
Yes, so the theater department just performed a new play entitled Periphery. It was written by our former theater department chair, and it tells the story of the Greensboro Four, who really laid the foundation for the civil rights movement and began the sit-in movement that swept across the nation in the 60s. This is a part of a Black Lives Matters Amplify Black Voices Play Festival with 4 other area colleges. Ours was actually the second. We were joined by Bennett College, and we're also joined by UNCG and NCA&T.
How was it performing somewhere that you've performed for the past 4 years, but with different students?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was a fantastic experience. I think it's one thing to perform with people you know, but it's a different thing to perform with professional performers and students from other schools, just to see different perspectives and see other people's approaches to portraying a character and telling such a poignant story too.
So what set that apart from all the other shows that you've done?
I think the thing that set Periphery apart was everyone came into the room really dedicated to telling a story about the civil rights movement. You know, we're still seeing situations of racial injustice and in some point segregation across the country.
Yeah.
And we all came in with such a fire to tell this story and advocate for change. And it was nice the first rehearsal to see everyone have the same passion for the show that I don't think we've had with all the other ones before.
Well, you did amazing.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations for doing such a great last show.
Thank you so
for
much.
joining us, Jackson. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Shreya and Jackson. Now let's hear back with entertainment reporter Lizbeth Ramirez to hear the inside scoop from Hollywood. Liz.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another week of All Access Entertainment. As we all know, Rihanna is pregnant with her partner, A$AP Rocky. It is unclear when she's due, but based on pictures, she seems to be far along. She's on the cover of Vogue this month, and in the issue, she gushes about A$AP and their relationship. There has been a story buzzing around that Rihanna and A$AP split because he cheated on her with the Fenty shoe designer Amina Mudai. However, Rihanna and A$AP were spotted landing in Barbados one day after the rapper was accused of cheating on her in a video obtained by the Shade Room. Rihanna is seen rocking a colorful mini dress and high heels while A$AP covered up with a tie-dye hoodie and matching pants. Rihanna and A$AP have not addressed the cheating rumors themselves. Their trip to Barbados came more than 2 months after they announced they were expecting their first child in January. Rihanna told A$AP in an interview that she always wished to raise her baby in Barbados, her native home. Perhaps the couple is taking a trip to plant down permanent roots for their new family. It's been a big year for Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. As I'm sure you'll remember, the duo set the internet ablaze last summer when they announced to the world that after nearly 2 decades, Bennifer was back. Ben and Jennifer first started dating in 2002 and quickly got engaged in the same year. However, after solidifying their status as one of Hollywood's favorite power couple, they ultimately called off their wedding and parted ways for good in 2004. But now, 18 years and a few failed relationships later, Ben and Jennifer are engaged for the second time. In the unlikely event that you missed it, Jennifer shared the news on Friday in a very special edition of her newsletter, On the J-Lo, where she showed off her beautiful and enormous green engagement ring. In another exclusive newsletter, Jennifer dished on the intimate details of Ben's sweet proposal, revealing that she was actually taking a bubble bath when he shocked her with the ring. Despite saying that the proposal was nothing fancy, Jennifer recalled that it was the most romantic thing she could have possibly wished for. Although the first engagement did not have a happy ending for the couple, Jennifer assured her fans that the hardships of their first relationship have built a much stronger foundation for the eventful reunion. That's all I have for you tonight. Back to you, Riley and Anna.
Just 1 year after undergoing his 4th brain surgery, 17-year-old Griffin McConnell is a national chess master. Griffin's medical journey has included intense procedures to help treat severe seizures and a disease that disconnected the left side of his brain. With these surgeries, McConnell had to relearn how to walk, talk, speak, and even play chess. Griffin dreamed of becoming a national chess master, and now the 17-year-old is using his experience to pay it forward. Griffin and his father started a nonprofit organization providing children and young adults with disabilities with the opportunity to compete in chess against peers based on age, grade, and chess rating.
Hershey is offering a chance to win one of America's favorite candies for 1 year or even for life, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Now through July, people can look for specially marked packages of Reese's Cups as part of the Reese's Loves You Back promotion in celebration of National Lovers Day, which falls on April 23rd. Aside from free Reese's, other prizes include $5,000 in Visa rewards cards or a singular $75 Visa rewards card. The packages have a code or QR code that allows you to see if you've won. You can visit www.reeseslovers.com to complete the registration page and enter the code found on the wrapper. To enter without a purchase, you can obtain a code via email by sending a 3x5 card to 500 East Oregon Road, Lititz, Pennsylvania 17543. May the best chocolate and peanut butter fan win. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. Join us next week, same time, same place, for my last broadcast with Riley Mannion. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Riley Mannion. Have a great week, High Point.